So Ecoalf is a brand that in 15 years, 16 years has been revolutionizing sustainable fashion by turning waste and recycled plastic into luxury fabrics. So through his foundation, you work with thousands of fishermen across the Mediterranean, giving new life to plastic and proving that innovation and environmental respect can coexist. So in 15 years, how has Ecoalf evolved in terms of production, innovation, and approach to sustainability? Because sustainability has been changed in the last 15 years.
Well, as you say, when I founded Ecoalf in 2009, I felt the business model of fashion wasn't working. Unfortunately, I still feel the same. No? I think, unfortunately, it's too much still about buying, throwing, a new trend every week, discount, promotion, Black Friday. I think this is a disaster, no? Especially a disaster in terms of the usage of natural resources. So that's why when I founded Ecoalf, I was obsessed with the stop using natural resources in a careless way. So our vision was very clear. And then our mission was trying to create this new generation of recycled products, where if I don't tell you recycled, you would never know. No? Basically, everything I'm wearing used to be waste a few months ago. No? And as we say in Ecoalf, no, waste is only waste if you waste it. No? I think it's possible to do it again. No? So, and since then, I think Ecoalf, has evolved with a very clear purpose. So Ecoalf has always, I think what I'm more proud about is the purpose. No? It's what we do, how we want to do it, our vision, and that's how we move. No? And thanks to big partnerships with other companies, we've been able to evolve.
As we said before, educating consumers is the key to real change. Do you see a real shift in people's attitudes towards sustainable fashion brands compared to when you first started? We just saw it with Jonathan. And how can brands like Ecoalf inspire people to buy less but better, transforming awareness in long-lasting responsible?
Well, as you say, I think Jonathan has given a lot of very accurate data, which I'm not able to give. I'll tell you, when Ecoalf started in 2009, at least in Spain, sustainability was not something cool. Sustainability was more linked to something hippie, no? Poor design, etc. And recycling was even worse, because recycling was linked to poor quality. So when you tell people, what do you want to do? No, I want to create this brand, transforming waste into products. They thought I was going to take like the old blanket of my grandmother to make a backpack. I said, no, nothing to do. You won't see the difference between both products. No? Luckily, after that, in 2015, 2016, 2017, I think those things changed, especially thanks to the press, and people started talking about carbon emissions and the usage of water and circularity, etc. No? As I said, Jonathan has a lot of data. I don't have that data. I can tell you what's my experience, so don't take it very seriously. But we go a lot to universities, no? And at the end, we give a lot of talks in universities. And when I see young people, we tend to identify them in like 3 groups. One group is the very activist group and very current, so that these guys believe that there's a need to change and they're ready to take the actions they need to take. Then you have another group, which is just as big, which they manifest on Fridays, and then they go to Primark on Saturday to buy 4 t-shirts of €4. So, well, this doesn't work. I mean, you have to decide. Or you manifest on Fridays, or you go to Primark on Saturdays. No? And then you have the third group, which for me is the most worrying group, which is the group that has decided that the world is going to collapse, so why should they make an effort?
So they don't care.
Yeah, so they don't care. Which for me, that's the most worrying group, because I think, and that's why Ecoalf always tries to send a message of more of hope and of inspiring. So you don't only have to say, okay, this is wrong, but you have to try to say, this is possible to change it. Of course, sometimes they ask you, no? So Javier, how do you envision 2050? So, well, it depends what we do from here to 2050. If we keep on throwing a truck of 16 tons of waste to the ocean every minute, it looks bad. If we keep on burning the forest to plant cotton to make T-shirts of €4, which are going to finish in landfill in less than 2 years, it looks bad. If we keep on throwing billions of garments to landfill every week, but it's up to us. I mean, we can change that. But the only thing is, I think we have to act now. No?
At an industry level, how can fashion move towards business models that prioritize durability and functionality and timeless design while remaining competitive and desirable for consumers? Because we were talking about it.
Well, I think, as you say, durability and timeless design, for me, are part of sustainability. No? I think you're missing there a very important, which is circularity. I think circularity is very, very important. No, I was in Ghana, 1 month ago. So we never do Black Fridays, we do campaigns against Black Friday. And this year we went to Ghana to record. No, we have 16 million garments coming from Europe every week to a landfill in Ghana. 16 million garments every week. And we have the European community now building a new landfill. So they're pouring us here with a lot of bureaucracy and at the same time, they're making another landfill in Ghana so we can keep on sending them our waste. I think it's unbelievable, no? Because as you say, if you have a bath, no, which is pouring water, the solution is not to put 2 towels. I think perhaps the solution is to close the tubs, no? So I think circularity is very important, and to work towards circularity, brands have to start from the eco-design, from the beginning of the product, no? And working with monomaterial, monofilaments, so ready to be circular. I think that's very important.
What did you think about Mrs. D'Aprile speech? Because we were talking about it, right? About regulation. So what do you think? What are your expectations?
My expectations is that I'm looking forward to read those regulations. I read the first draft, and there's already a few things in that draft which, if it's true, I'm completely against. But let's see. I don't want to make any comments until I don't see them. No?
Okay.
I think also regulation is very important. I think, as I always say, this is up to all of us. No? I think consumers have a lot of responsibility, brands have a lot of responsibility, and legislators have a lot of responsibility. But filling all of the companies with a lot of regulations, sometimes it's more work for the companies, but sometimes not all the solution we need. No? So let's see, we'll read how the regulations is when we read.
Finally, finance and sustainability are increasingly intertwined. How do you see this relationship evolving, and what risks or opportunities do you foresee, especially in light of concerns about potential financial crisis linked to climate change?
Well, I think it's very, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to be sustainable, but you also have to be sustainably financial, no? So I think it's very important. We always feel at Ecoalf that we are very small. We don't have the strength to change anything. I mean, I think the big groups have the volume, they have the resources to really make an impact. But I think at Ecoalf, we feel that we show that it's possible. So this is not about making a capsule collection which is stolen. No, this is about trying to be obsessed that every product you have in the market, it's the best performance in terms of sustainability you could do, in terms of circularity, in terms of that. No? So I think at the end, we feel that fashion cannot just be about looking good. No? I think it's also about doing what is right and feeling good about it. And I think it's a big responsibility for brands who are trying to do things in a different way to show that you can be as profitable as the ones who are not doing it. So I think it's very linked.
So how do you see your Ecoalf in, let's say, other 15 years?
I don't know. I think to be honest, I have a double hat. So I have the hat of the Ecoalf Foundation, which is my baby and the one I really dedicate a lot of time, which is with what we've done, the Upcycling the Oceans project now. So right now we're working with over 5,000 fishermen in 82 ports in the Mediterranean, collecting more than 450 tons of waste from the bottom of the ocean, converting 68% of that waste again, putting it in the market. And that I love, and hopefully we want to keep on growing, and hopefully work with over 10,000 fishermen in 2-3 years and take more than 1,000 tons of weight from the bottom of the ocean. And then I have Ecoalf, which we feel, we always tend to say that we are not obsessed of being like the biggest company in the world, but a good company for the world. And that's how we envision.
Good company for the world is a great statement. Thank you, Javier Goyeneche, founder of Ecoalf. Thank you for your vision. Thank you very much.